Good evening and welcome to the Arundel Camera Club live stream for Wednesday, March 18th, 2020. My name is John Milliker. I'm the programs coordinator for the 2019-2020 season, and I'm really happy you're able to join us tonight. The Arundel Camera Club was founded in 1957 and exists to promote the art, science, and education in all aspects and fields of photography. Normally we meet 7 p.m. every Wednesday evening during the school year in Severna Park, Maryland. However, with the current disruptions, we've decided to continue business as normal in a virtual space which allows us to protect our members and guests from the current COVID-19 situation. For more information about us, please visit arundelcameraclub.org. Before we get to tonight's topic of our scheduled digital photography contest, we have a few announcements to cover. Next week on Wednesday, March 25th at 7 p.m. live right here on the stream, we've got a very special program by club member David Joyner on the design principles in photography. As you may know, David's architectural work is absolutely fantastic, and it will be a big treat to hear David speak a bit more about the principles he's learned throughout his photographic career. Be sure to mark your calendars and join us for that. The following week, Wednesday, April 1st at 7 p.m. will be our April digital contest. Keep an eye on announcements, as this may be either live streamed or held in person, depending on how things proceed with our meeting location and decisions made to protect the health and safety of our members. This contest has the theme of long exposure. Thankfully, Mike Thomas has described this very well for us in the September newsletter as a photo that can be a clear long exposure and give a special example of light painting, streaks of car headlights, blurred motion, and many more. This is a fun topic, and we hope all members not only try a long exposure idea on their own, but also submit their own photos to the contest. For both Wednesday, April 8th and April 15th, we will have either live-streamed or in-person meetings. An announcement will be made regarding meeting type and program information as we get closer. Thursday, April 16th is our fundraiser at the Irish restaurant Brian Boru in Severna Park, Maryland. However, with the restaurant closure Maryland's governor has ordered on Monday, be sure to keep an eye on announcements, and we'll keep everyone up to date on the event. This is a generous fundraising night Brian Boru provides for the club, and we want to make sure that members know that during the shutdown, Brian Boru is offering takeout options, and it would be great if we can help support them as they have supported us. As far as field trips are concerned, please check your email, as Michelle has addressed the field trips for at least for the March 28th. Also, I'd like to mention that I believe with everyone having off of school, off of work, internet and Facebook seems to be having a little bit of a hiccup every once in a while. If you experience any drop in the feed, feel free to mention something in the chat, and we'll go on from that. I think I have something here. I have a notification here from Michelle. She's saying that we're having a problem with the feed. Let's see. Okay. Well, we're going to try to go as far as we can. It looks like Facebook might be having a little bit of a problem, so hopefully we can continue on. If not, we do have this stream being recorded, and we will put that somewhere that people can access it as well afterwards. Currently, it looks like we've stabilized a little bit, so let's go ahead and continue. Personally, I want to recognize all of our club officers for their time and efforts to help prevent disruptions and come up with a plan for the rest of the club year. With everything up in the air, I believe together we have a solid plan not only to continue the safety inside our club and continue the club's mission to maintain value to our members no matter what tomorrow holds. Our contest coordinator, Louis Sapienza, and Bob Weber have also put in extra hours to make sure that contest entries are received and put in a format easily suited for live streaming. Please be sure to thank your club officers for their hard work. Lastly, but certainly not least, we want to thank all the club members for their understanding and continued involvement with this temporary new format. Together, we can get through these disruptions safely while still having fun, learning, and sharing with each other. We're going to take a short break and get set up for tonight's contest. And once we get back, we'll introduce our judge for tonight, Nancy McKenzie. We'll be right back. We're excited to have tonight's judge with us, Nancy McKenzie, who lives in Carroll County, Maryland, and is an amazing photographer who studied with John Ennis at Villa Julie College. She's worked as a writer and photographer for the neighborhood section of the Carroll County Times for 15 years and has been judging photography since 2001. Nancy, welcome, and thank you for working with us with this format change.
Hi, good evening, John. Good to be with everyone.
Excellent. Nancy, what's the most enjoyable contest you've ever judged for?
The most enjoyable contest. They're all very good. Usually I'm stuck at various fairs. And I have a co-judge that I work with on most of those. Her name is Jane Bancroft, and we are notorious for actually singing during events. So it's not so much specific contests, but we sing during things. Also, my very first gig as a photography judge was at the Anne Arundel County Fair in 2001, and it happened on September 11th, 2001.
Oh, no.
Which was a day that, let's just say we won't forget that day.
Not at all.
And as I'm driving to the fair, I'm hearing all the reports, and it's like, you know, there's nothing that will keep me safe. I have a job to do. I'm going to the fair. And I went, and I judged. The other judge couldn't make it because her car had broken down the day before. So I did the whole thing by myself, and at the end, it's like I'm down to best in show. It's a magnificent photo. It's got light. It's got focus. It's got composition. It's got everything. Best photo there. It was a photo of two grasshoppers mating. And I had to check with the superintendent because they can be very picky about things. And I said, can I hang this? Charlie Ruby is the superintendent. I said, can I hang this, Charlie? He said, yep, if you say it's the best photo, it's the best photo. So if that was any of you in this club, you know, congratulations for winning Best in Show with two grasshoppers mating.
That's great. Now, Nancy, with your career in the Carroll County Times, is there a standout story that you've really enjoyed working on?
Actually, there were so many. 15 years covering all over the county, and toward the end I was doing photo features every single week, which was exciting. But there was one that I did with featuring Steam into History, which runs just north of the Maryland line, New Freedom, Pennsylvania, up toward Glen Rock and Hanover Junction. And we had a local man who was a volunteer with that. We always have to have a local twist on that. And I went up and covered him, and shot the train, shot everything for an entire afternoon. I mean, my pay at the paper was worth zilch because I'd always put in way more hours than I'd ever make money for. But the editor, when that came out, because I was the writer as well as the photographer, she said, "This is what I've wanted neighborhoods to be always. This is finally exactly what I envisioned neighborhoods would be." So to me, that was the absolute prize.
Wow. Steam into History is a fantastic venue. If anyone listening has not been there. Now, they just recently changed their name. Do you know what that name is now?
I don't know.
They've recently changed their name. If anybody knows the name they've changed to, please put it in the chat because anybody listening to this might not be able to find them with this new name. But they changed the name, and I remember somebody asking them about that, and they said the new name really helped kind of drive home their mission a little bit better. So hopefully someone will fill us in on the chat with that. And lastly, okay, Nancy, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Lastly, I have a question. Have you ever judged a contest remotely before?
No, I have not.
Well, this is going to be fun.
This is all new.
This is going to be fun for all of us. I do ask for everyone's patience with Nancy and I. We've done as much as we could to make sure that we're on the same page, making this happen. And we're going to give Nancy plenty of time to get caught up, and we're going to double check that we're always caught up as well. So with that stated, okay. Go ahead.
Just so everyone knows, I'm viewing photos on a 25-inch diagonal IMAX screen. So we've got the best possible screen I can look at. And I'll be bringing the photos up individually and look at them, which is different than I usually judge. Usually I'm at a point where I can see everything to start. I do a photo, but it's, you're doing side-by-side comparisons. We're going to be doing sequential comparisons, so you'll get to hear me talking to myself a lot.
Now, Nancy, no pixel peeping no pixel peeping because we do ask people to send in images no larger than 1024 on the longest side. So keep your hand off that Z key on your keyboard. The reason we do that is because it's easier to project it once we have the in-person meetings. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just pulling the images as they're coming through, and y'all are responsible for what they look like.
Perfect. Well, let's get started. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the novice class contest first and then go to the unlimited class. The classes in no way deal with skill level. It's just usually time involved in the club to gather the points to move to the unlimited class. Now, the images have been randomized and given a number. This is something we typically don't do in person, But we've changed that in order to make sure that both you and I can communicate over the phone and make sure that we are not only commenting on the right number of images, but when you decide in and out and when you do your placements, we're going to check some of that as well. I've randomized the images with a computer program, and I apologize. I don't think we have. I think we maybe have one or two that are back to back, but they're nice and mixed up. I think we should be okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the images first, and then we're going to start over and bring up each image one by one, where we ask for your comments and then an in or an out. I'll read the number and name from each image, and then when you decide in or out, just read the number and the name back to me so that we're good. It's not necessary to go gung-ho on weeding out all of the images the first time through, because we can always go through them and get them down to a size where I can bring them all up on the screen, and then you can go ahead and place. For the novice contest, we have 25 images that are randomly numbered 2 through 26. I don't know why my program decided to start at 2, but we're not missing on number 1. And if at any time you think we're out of sync or if we move a little too quickly, feel free to say something and we'll get back in order. Understand?
Yep.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Number 2, flamingo. Number 3, happy birthday. Number 4, scolding. Number 5, multicolored glasses. Number 6, boat shop. Number 7, enter the cathedral. Number 8, boat. Number 9, at the ready. Number 10, starling. Number 11, feed me. Number 12, Main Harbor. Number 13, what goes up. Number 14, happy hour. Number 15, butterfly on cone flower. Number 16, water drop flower. Number 17, serenade. Number 18, feeling blue. Number 19, Catwoman. Number 20, hermit crab. Number 21, Kodak car fix-up. Number 21, butterfly. Number 23, flowers photo stacking. Number 24, Reagan Airport window. Number 25, about to burst. And number 26, his glory. Nancy, that's all of them. I'm going to shuffle back to the first image, which is 2 flamingo. I want to make a note that I think our stability issues have been fixed. I haven't seen any dropped frames for a little bit, so if anybody notices any issues, if you cannot hear Nancy, nobody wants to hear me. So if you cannot hear Nancy, make sure to say something in the chat. And we've got I want to thank Michelle Barkdahl and Christine Milliker for getting me kind of reports from the chat, because I can't see them from this vantage point here. But Nancy, we're going to go ahead and start. This is where we're going to ask you to give us a little bit of a comment, and then when you've picked in or out for that, just please read me either the number, the name, whichever. This is number 2, flamingo.
Flamingo. I'm looking at this. Excellent color, decent light. Very good use of depth of field. I've got an out of focus background, which is what I would want on this. It's a good photo, and for right now, that stays in.
Excellent. Number 3, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I'm looking at it. It's kind of dead on lighting. It's nicely focused. I mean, it's very dead center as well. It's more of a documentary photo than I would say an art photo. You're documenting what this bouquet looked like. It's beautiful. I'm sure it was a beautiful wedding or whichever. But I would say that this one is out right now.
Okay. Number 3, let me make sure I'm switching around some views here. Number 3, Happy Birthday is out. Next is number 4, Scolding.
Yes, the scolding. Once again, we've got really nice focus, great light, nice subject. For now, that stays in.
Excellent. Number 5, Multicolor Glasses.
Okay, we have the multicolored glasses. The glasses are, it's an interesting subject. It's a great example of a color shot, as Jane and I would say. Sorry, I'm forgetting her name. Dear me. But once again, I think more could have been done with the lighting on this. The lighting's kind of dead on, and yes, I can see the colors of the glasses, but I think that, you could have done more with the lighting on this. So, nice color, but I think we'll let this one be out for now.
Okay, number 5, Multicolored Glasses is out. Number 6, Boat Shop.
Okay, I'm looking, reviewing and looking. Nice line, nice composition. I like the way this is composed. Decent light. I'm just trying to, it seems almost foreshortened in a way, and I'm trying to figure out which lens was used to do that, but I think I can stay in for now.
Okay. Next image is going to be 7, Enter the Cathedral.
Enter the Cathedral. Dramatic lighting, for sure. Dramatic lighting and a nice wet pavement night. Very nice image. I think this one can stay.
Okay. Next is 8, Boat.
And there it is. Black and white, and I do love black and white. Please don't anybody get on me, but I love black and white as well as my color. Something that, this image tends to look to me like it's been ultra sharp a bit, and that, I will tell you, everybody, that is something that will not go very well for you in Maryland fair judging. Extra sharpening does not work well. It's a good image. It's got good graphic quality to it. Decent light. I'm trying to take into account that I'm looking at it on a screen. We definitely have. I'm looking at the zones, and we definitely have black. There's a little bit of white here and there, but I think this one can go for now. But it's nicely zoned for a black and white photo.
Okay, 8, Boat, we're going to take out.
Okay.
Next is 9, At the Ready.
At the Ready. Lovely color shot, lovely image, but you know what's in focus here? It's the bird poop on the kayaks in front. Yeah, this one is not quite, it does not have the focus I would like on the kayaks that are the feature. Yeah, I'm pulling focus up in front. So, very colorful, very nice, but this one's going to be out.
Okay, number 9, At the Ready is out. 10, Starling.
Okay, hang on one second. I'm clearing out a few things on my screen so I can see what I'm doing. There's the starling. Nice bird shot. Very nicely lit. Good capture. Focus is very good on this. This one can stay for a while.
Okay. 11, Feed Me.
The goldfish. Great aquatic shot. This is cool. I mean, you're looking straight down the gullet of that fish, which is intriguing, to say the least. But as with most water shots, you're running into the fact that it's really hard to focus through water, and you're getting different levels. It's an interesting shot if you were entering, say, in a fish and aquatic class at your county or state fair. You've got a real chance of pulling this one off, but I think in this contest, this will be out.
Okay, 11, Feed Me is out. 12, Main Harbor.
Main Harbor. Actually, I've done some of my best shooting in Maine, so I've kind of got a weakness for this. But what's really bugging me is that the top of the tower on the Maine Maritime Academy ship is cut off. It's like, there's a piece missing to the jigsaw puzzle. Just give me a little bit more up there. And it's a very interesting shot, but I just wish it had included a little bit more in the frame. Step back, take one step backwards, reshoot it, and I think you'd have everything you needed. So I think that one will be out.
Okay, 12, Main Harbor is out. 13, What Goes Up?
What goes up is mysterious. It's got nice focus. The light is, well, I mean, you're flooded out from the light because you're trying to capture what's in there. Seems to be a little, well, it is a little bit dark. You're in a tower, duh. But it's got nice lines to it, but I don't think it's going to take place in this competition. Enter it in an architectural detail class or building class at a local fair, and you might well come up with something. So it's out.
Okay. 13, What Goes Up is out. 14, Happy Hour.
Interesting shot. Sounds like a wonderful party. But it strikes me as rather snapshotty. It's just, you're looking everywhere at once. There's no focal point really, unless you're counting the flag on the corner, the tall boat. But it's an interesting shot. It's lovely. It would be a lovely accompaniment for a story, but I don't know that it's going to stand on its own in this competition. I think this one's out.
Okay, 14, Happy Hour is out. 15, Butterfly on Coneflower.
Okay, I'm just clearing out my screen here for a minute. Butterfly on Coneflower. There it is. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Looks like we've got pretty good focus in here. The depth of field is you've got your focus in the right place, and your depth of field is nice and shallow. So this 1 in 10 is a little touch coming out of focus, but it's okay. We understand why that happens. You know, you've got his little hairy wings. He's so cute. So I think he can stay for now. He's nicely lit. It's a decent bug shot. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 16, Water Drop Flower.
Water drop. This is really impressive. It's a microsecond capture. I mean, fast capture. But and I like the fact that it's got color. I don't know if the color was added before or after, or if there's color in the water, but it's an interesting piece. I find this intriguing, and yes, it can stay in for now.
Okay. Next is 17, Serenade.
Okay, let me Serenade. Oh, there we go. Back to black and white. A touch on the dark side, but very nice. It's a nice capture of him and his instrument. It's a good person photo. I like the lines of it. Good graphic quality to this. This one can stay for a while. Yeah, this one stays in for now.
Okay. 18, Feeling Blue.
Once again, an architectural detail photo. It's interesting. It's an interesting viewpoint. It's nice. I don't know if the color has been added digitally or if I think it's lit this way. It may well be lit by the spotlights in the church to come up this blue. I'm not sure because generally they don't paint them blue, the cathedrals I've been in. But it's very nice, but I don't think it's going to stay in.
Okay. 18, Feeling Blue is out. 19, Catwoman.
Catwoman. Yes, Catwoman. The dangers of roller derby. Nice. What we would call a let's see, it's not a portrait, it's a candid photo. That's it, candid. Lovely focus on the girl to the right. I mean, this is telling her story. You know, in a people class, this would go far. This would do really, really well. For now, we'll keep it in this class.
Okay.
Because this one is so many different things, comparing apples and oranges and grapefruits. But that definitely, if somebody wants to enter that in a people class somewhere, do that.
Open themes is not easy for you. I definitely agree. Yeah. Number 20 is Hermit Crab.
There he is, the little hermit crab. He's awfully cute. And apparently he's gone underwater at the moment. Once again, the same thing with the water shots. There's a lot of stuff that gets in between you and the photo. Also, he's kind of like tucked up in his corner. I'd like to see him as a little bit, possibly put him up at the left-hand corner so he's coming out into the frame as opposed to leaving the frame. So I think that one will leave now. Normally you would put him over on the left-hand side so he's coming out into the frame. That would look into the photo as opposed to leaving the frame. So that's a hint for the next time you want to try that. But all in all, you've focused it nicely, and you've got, considering there's so much stuff going on in the water, you've got nice focus on this. I really appreciate that. But this one is out.
Okay, 20, hermit crab is out. 21, Kodak car fix-up.
Okay, once again, we got a great color shot. Lots of color, but once again, it almost seems snapshotty. In terms that, we've got this proportion up here, we got this much I can see where you're playing your thirds. I mean, I understand rule of thirds and where everything is, but there's not much light, not much going on here. I would say it doesn't stand up to the other photographs. It's clean, it's well focused, but it just isn't standing up to the others. I would say that one's out.
Okay, 21, Kodak car fix-up is out. 22, butterfly.
Another butterfly. Once again, well shot, good depth of field. He's got his little wing open, so the tip of his wing is out of focus, but we understand that. We understand the concept of depth of field. It's nicely shot. The only thing that bugs me a little bit about this is that the florets that are opening toward me, which are to my view, are out of focus. They're out of the depth of field, and you could have given yourself a little, close down your aperture a little bit to give you a little bit more depth of field on this, so that we'd have that, at least that bloom completely in. I think it can stay in for now, but that's my flaw with this one. Not that it's not a flawed photo. It's a very attractive, great line, great composition line, but that's my concern with this one. But it stays in for now.
Okay. 23, flowers photo stacking.
Nice bouquet. Interesting lighting. There's not a whole lot that it's dead centered, so there's not really any dramatic impetus to the photo from the composition, and it's adequately lit. It's adequately focused, but it's right now coming to me as an adequate photo, not an outstanding photo. So it's a nice job, but they could polish a little bit more on this. This one's out.
23, flowers photo stacking is out. 24, yeah. Reagan airport window.
Okay, this comes into something that I learned. I learned as a judge. The trick about judging is you always learn from the people you're judging with, because the other judges are really good. And at one point, I was lucky enough to be judging at the Colbert County 4-H photography with a man who had formerly been a photo editor for National Geographic. And he turned to me one day and said, "No, that's somebody else's art. It's an interesting photo, but what's the art is what is in front of what was made before, and you're documenting that art. But it's not that your photo is making it a new interpretation of it." So I think I will let this one pass along as somebody else's art, and that's always a phrase you should remember as you go to enter in any fair.
Okay, 24.
Because I've been teaching that to the judging schools, so that one's out.
24, Reagan.
Nicely done, but it's out.
24, Reagan airport window is out. 25, about to burst.
Nice image. Nice lighting. Good focus. Depth of field is pretty good on it. A little bit centered, but there's some graphic interest from the out of focus branches in the back. I think that one will stay in for now.
Okay. And the last image is 26, His Glory.
His Glory. Our standard landscape shot in portrait. It's a nice shot, great color, good capture of a reflection, except I would have wanted to see the top. If you're giving me the reflection shot, I've got the whole tree in the water. Give me the whole tree above, too. I'd like to see both edges of it, you know? And then I think is its big failing, is you've got the whole thing in the water, but we'd like to see the whole, you know, step back, take 2 steps back, shoot it again, and you've got a great photo. This one is kind of missing out on that upper section, so I think this one will definitely be out.
Okay, we're taking 26 His Glory out. That is the last image. What I'm going to do, Nancy, we're down to 11. We need to get to 7. I'm going to bring up the grid on our stream here, and I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 11 images here. What we could do is we could either go through them again. I'm not exactly sure how you're viewing them there.
I'm viewing them one by one. Okay, do me a favor. I've got down to my cheat sheet now that I've written everything down on. So I'm trying to remember what's in, what's out, because I haven't been noting it as I go. So
okay.
Flamingo is still in, correct?
I'll give you the numbers. How about that? 2.
Okay.
4.
Yep.
6. 7. 10. 15. 16. 17. 19. 22. And 25.
25. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay.
We've got 11, and we're looking.
We're looking for 7.
We're looking for 7 places, correct?
We can either take out the remaining images, or if you'd like to start placing, we need 1st through 4th and 3 honorable mentions.
1st through 4th and 3 honorable mentions. Okay. I'm just trying to look at what I've got, trying to bring it back up here.
And while you do that, I'll let people know that, unfortunately, we really can't have Nancy viewing the stream with us because there typically is a several second delay, and especially with us having a little bit of connection issues earlier, we've seemed to have stabilized out. We can't really let Nancy see the screen as we are presenting it to the live stream, because it would just be such a difficult process in keeping everything in sync, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm looking at these. I'm going to knock out one more. I'm taking out number 6. Number 6 is out.
Number 6, Boat Shop, is out.
Okay. I'm just reviewing in my head. Now we're down to 10. And this often how to just go. How many do we need? All right, now let's get close. We're doing the countdown. I think I'm taking out 25, About to Burst.
Number 25, About to Burst, is out.
Yep. I'm just going to take a look at something real quick. Okay, I've looked at that one. Right. Just glancing through. Sorry if I kind of just sit here going,
No, absolutely. This is a very difficult format to ask for you to judge in, and we want you to take your time and do these images justice.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up a couple of these right there. Some compare and contrast work. That one's out. Okay. All in all, I will say that the overall quality has been tremendous on these. I've been so impressed by what I've seen in both classes. But, you know, if this is a novice class, yay, people, you're doing a good job. Ooh, that's clean. I have to talk my way through this. Usually I'm arguing with another judge. We can argue amongst ourselves. But I think I'm going to take out number 4.
Number 4, Scolding, is out.
Yeah. So now we're down to 8.
Correct.
to basically one more, and we can start to place a little bit here.
Or if you feel more comfortable starting to place, and then whichever one falls out the back, we can remove as well.
Okay. Trying to figure who's going to be on coming up first, and then I'll work my way backwards. I do believe that's how this one's going to go. I am looking. I think Water Drop is going to take first.
Okay, number 16, Water Drop, moves to first place.
Yes. Flamingo is going to 2.
Flamingo is going to stay in 2.
Yes, Flamingo, number 2 is number 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 3 is going to be Catwoman, which is 19.
Okay, number 19, Catwoman, is going to move into third place.
Mm-hmm. I'm putting Serenade, number 17, in 4th place.
Number 17 is moving to 4th place.
Yes.
And we have
3 honorable mentions.
3 honorable mentions. Mm-hmm.
Our honorable mentions are number 10.
Number 10.
Number 22.
Number 22.
And number 15.
And number 15. We're going to take out 7, Enter the Cathedral.
Yeah, that is correct.
Those are your final answers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, John, those are my final answers.
Okay, the results of tonight's Novice Digital Contest. Honorable mention to Butterfly on Cone Flower by J.C. Williams. This is a fantastic image. Like you said, the sharpness is just amazing. Typically, when we're holding this live in the when we're holding this in a personal space, the photographer is able to comment on where they photographed this beautiful photo and a little bit more about it. Anybody who has placed tonight, please repost your images in the Facebook group. What we can do is we can start a new thread, and please tell us, where you've shot this. Kind of give us the same banter that you give us once we announce at the end of the night. Good job. Number 22 is Butterfly, and that is Paul Wilcox, also an honorable mention. Another amazing butterfly shot. Another honorable mention is number 10, Starling. And that is by Paul Wilcox as well.
Paul's doing well tonight.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Number 4, 4th place, is Serenade by Paul Wilcox as well. Congratulations, Paul. We have a special ribbon for anyone that has all of their images placed, either first and fourth or honorable mention as well. So congratulations, Paul. I like the moodiness of this as well.
Mm-hmm.
3rd place, Catwoman by J.C. Williams. I like that a lot too.
Yeah.
2nd place, Flamingo, and that is Janet Payton. Janet is one of our newer members, and that's just an amazing shot. Congratulations,
shot.
Janet. And we actually have, am I reading this right? Do we have 3 tricolor ribbons? Because 1st place is Water Drop Flower by J.C. Williams again. Do we have
Wow.
JC? JC is 1st, 3rd, and honorable mention. Elaine, get those tricolor ribbons out and ready to go. Excellent. Congratulations to everyone tonight, and let's go ahead and get started in the Unlimited class.
Let me change my scribble sheet.
Now, what I'm going to do, Nancy, I'm going to go ahead and let you get started on that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit while you do that. I'm going to just go over our rules for the entries. And the only reason I'm bringing up the entries again is because mostly everyone is submitting the images correctly, but there are a couple people that are having a little bit of trouble with their naming conventions. So let's just go over the digital contest entries for everyone in the live stream. Images should be saved with the longest side of 1024 pixels. I did notice a couple of them that were a little bit bigger. We had to resize them. In the sRGB color space and as a JPEG at an equality setting of 8 or 80%. Of course, if you have any problems understanding any of these, don't know how to do it with your program, or have any other questions about that, please bring it up in the Facebook group, or maybe even the chat. Unfortunately, I'm not able to keep an eye on chat, but if you have a question, maybe someone there in chat can help you out. File naming should be done to the following convention. Your class identifier. If you're a novice, it's going to be a lowercase n or lowercase u for unlimited, followed by an underscore. And the name should appear next. As you can see kind of these examples down below. It's always nice to either to underscore between the letters, or you would do what's called camel case, and that is every new word has a capitalized. As you can see down on the examples here, the first one, bridge on the River Kwai, has the capitalizations between the for each word. The other one down here is fantastic for everyone to read, which is the underscores between the letters. And hey, if you want to be extra fancy, you can even underscore and capitalize, and follow that up with another underscore, and then your initials, and that's how we can figure out who won what. The last two examples, this is very hard to read, and the some have trouble with this. This is very hard to read is just very hard to read, and some operating systems have trouble with the spaces. So try to keep your digital entries just like that. Nancy, whenever you're ready, we'll move on to the unlimited class entries. We have 40.
Let's dive in. Now, this one we have, and let me just double check myself.
Make sure you have
9 places, correct?
That is correct. 1st through 4th, and 5 honorable mentions.
5 honorable mentions. Made the note. Okay.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Let me while we have a break, are my chat monitors, are we doing good as far as stream quality and stream health? I'm getting thumbs up. Great. Let's go. Let's get started.
Okay, very good. I'm on number 2.
2, Moon over Skogafoss. Don't quote me on that.
I think it's
name.
Icelandic, my dear. Skogafoss.
Okay, fantastic.
Well,
we're gonna let's go through first, and then we'll hit back this one again for
that's
comments.
That's right. We're going through first. Go forth.
Excellent. Here we go. 3, Fuzzy Sunrise. 4, Female ruby-throated hummingbird. 5, Gold heron. 6, Coming in hot. 7, Pilated woodpecker gatorland. 8, Preening glossy ibis in breeding plumage. 9, Best friends. 10, Woof woof woof. 11, The last pallet. 12, Great blue nest building. 13, Ashley. 14, Got my eye on you. 15, Too much playing. 16, Colorful danger. 17, Moonrise over Sandy Point light. 18, Reach. 19, Cathedral in the woods. 20, Dock Street Theater. 21, Bug's Eye View. 22, Fresh Fish Snack. 23, Sunset from the Ruins. 24, Folded soda can strips. 25, Kilgore Falls. 26, No, No. 27, Gateway to the Tetons. 28, Sierra. 29, One-Eyed Abe. 30, Clearwater Harbor. 31, Detmold Center. 32, In the Dead of the Night. 33. Sunset on the river. 34. Lily study. 35. Blue jay looking. 36. Blue, blue, blue. 37. Hummingbird moth. 38. St. John's Tower. 39. On watch. 40. Remembering friends. 41. Girl on fire. 42. Female mallard. 43. Galaxies on chopsticks. 44. Blue dasher. 45. Lily at dawn. 46. Yes, you. And that was our last image. Let me move all the way back to the front, and we're going to start with 2. Moon over, what was that name again?
Skogafos.
Go ahead. Great, go ahead.
Okay, once again, just as we were going through these, there is such incredible photography in here. This is going to be a devil of a class to judge because there's so many different varieties of things, and they're all good. So I just, no matter whether you place or not, this is an incredible class, and I'm very glad to have been asked to judge this because I love seeing the photos. Okay, we're looking over Moon over Skagafos. It's an interesting photo. I like the moon. I like the falls. I think what's catching me on this, the focus is good. There's good detail. What I'm running into here is there is not getting light and shadow from anywhere. One thing that is one of my bugbears with photography. It is the science of light and capturing light, and conversely shadow. And I'd really like to have the light, and I'm not getting light on this one. I think I'll let this one go.
Okay. 2. Moon over Skagafos is out. 3. Fuzzy sunrise.
Fuzzy sunrise. Here we go. Now, once again, this one has light, as you can see. I don't know that it's compositionally. It's you're right over on your first third line. It is what your composition is where it is. It's a very competent photo, and let me just double check this with reading glasses. Yep, it's beautifully focused, nicely done. But I just think in this class, it's not going to hold up. I think this one has to go as well.
Okay, 3. Fuzzy sunrise is out. 4. Female ruby-throated hummingbird.
Okay, I think this could be captioned "Angry Hummingbird," and you can probably sell T-shirts of that because the guy made $1 million off of Angry Bluebird. So you've got a shot with this. Nicely done, nicely focused, nice lantana as well. Your depth of field is just about perfect for that bird. This one stays in. Okay. Very nice.
5. Gold heron.
This is interesting to me. I can tell it's been manipulated somehow digitally. Not stuff that I normally would do, but I'm not sure that I like the contrast between the background and the heron. Suddenly you've pulled the heron out and you've got it over black and white. And yes, it makes an intriguing shot, but I just don't know that it's really giving me that much. I mean, your composition's decent in terms of rules of thirds and all, and focus is good. It looks like there's been some sharpening done based on looking at the legs, but I'm just not sold on this one, and you can always chalk that one up to personal preference, but this one is not working for me. This one is out.
Okay, 5, gold heron is out. 6, coming in hot.
Yeah, nice action shot, which is once again another fair category usually, an action shot. beautiful light on those tail feathers, and the transparency and the focus on those feathers is tremendous. I think this one can stay in for now.
Okay. 7. Pileated woodpecker gatorland.
Yes, this one is, the light in this is just incredible. The light on the eye, the attitude it gives, the way it's hitting on the right points for composition. This one definitely stays in.
Okay. 8. Preening glossy ibis in breeding plumage.
Come here, Ibis. There it is. Yes, it's very much an ibis in very still water, and preening her little feathers off. Good photo, competent, nice background, nicely done. I love the little feet under the water. A very good, very competent bird shot, but I don't think it's going to hold up in this class. I think this one can go as well.
Okay. 8. Preening glossy ibis is out. 9. Best friends.
Great photo. In terms of expressing the relationship between the two girls, between they're in the moment, you're capturing that moment. My only problem is that my focus, if you look over her shoulder, that her hair back behind her shoulder is in focus, but her eyelashes and eyes are not. And for that reason, I have to drop this down. The focus should be, if you're focusing on people, you need to focus on their eyes.
Okay.
And the focus is dropped back to behind her shoulder there. And any of you looking at this, I'm sure can see where you can see all the hairs are in focus down there, but you don't have that on her eyelashes and eyes.
Number 9. Best friends is out.
Yes.
Number 10. Woof woof woof.
Interesting photo, interesting compilation. It looks like. My problem here is that once again, it's somebody else's art, so this one is going to be out.
10. Woof 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 is out. 11.
Okay.
The last palette. Palette?
But the last palette, and this is speaking of other people's art. This is actually N.C. Wyeth's last palette before he died, and because I study N.C. Wyeth, so I happen to know what this is. To me, as just a documenting a relic, this is fantastic. As a photograph, I don't think it's quite as much so. I'm not getting quite the focus I would like. I could have used a bit more depth of field here. I mean, there's good focus up on the paints, dried paints at the top, but on the pencil, the brush, and further down, I'm losing the focus. So it's an interesting thing. It is an interesting, but once again, this is an interesting still life, but it wasn't created by the photographer. It's created by the museum. So I think we will have to let that go as, once again, kind of in the other person's art category.
Okay, 11. The last palette is out. 12. Great blue nest building.
Here, good. Oh yes, nicely shot. I love the way you've got the wings and in focus, just slightly out, which is shows you the movement. And with this is a good shot. This is a nice one. A little bit centery, but that one's going to stay in for now.
13. Ashley.
Ashley, there's Ashley. I think the soft focus here is a purposeful choice. It's an interesting photo. Once again, portrait. But I don't see anything here that's really knocking it out of the category to make it come to the top. I mean, yes, it is a very confident photo. Well lit for what it's for where its location is. It's just coming up as rather dark. I think I'm going to have to let this one go.
Okay, 13. Ashley is out. 14, got my eye on you.
Ah, yes, another competent bird photo. You guys need to enter the bird classes at the Anne Arundel County Fair. They can use you there. Nicely done, nicely focused. I mean, once again, nice, fast exposure because there is just a touch of ripple in that one feather, but it's clean. That was going to stay in for now.
Okay. 15, too much playing.
This is a beautiful black and white portrait. And he doesn't have his eyes open, but you can see the little hairs around his eyes, and even his little nose is in focus, but it does not have the problem. Many dog photos, you'll have the nose in focus and the eyes are out, but this looks like we've got plenty of the dog in focus. We have the complete dog. We're not missing a tail or a leg. It's a nice exposure. Nice exposure for black and white. This one's staying in.
Okay. 16, colorful danger.
Colorful danger. Yeah, this is a creepy, wonderful photo. The fact that he's diagonal is kind of creeping me out a little. We have this thing about keeping your water horizontal in photos, and we'll often joke as we're judging that, oh, look, the water's pouring out of the ocean on this side because everything's gone off at an angle. But in this one, this is an example, I think, of you break the rules and daggone it works. This is a working photo. It's nice animal shot. And what I find really interesting is the color reflection in the back is just setting him off, and setting off the outline of that snout. This one's definitely staying in.
17, moonrise over Sandy Point Light.
Oh, nice. Somebody was out during the moon, and it is a nice shot. I would just like a little bit tighter focus. I'm a little bit blurred on the moon. It's a great shot, but it's not quite. Dazzling's good, and the railings are good, but by the time we get to the moon, we're losing that depth, which theoretically we should have infinite depth of field, as they always say, but it is looking a little bit, of course, it could be the cloud cover, too. It's a good shot. I think this one's going to stay in for a while. A little bit centery, but for what it is, it's a good one. I think that one can stay for right now.
Okay. 18, reach.
Reach. Okay, it's reaching. It's nicely focused. Looks good. And decent color capture, fair amount of light, but there's an awful lot of distraction in the background. You've got those arching vines or whatever, and they're really kind of like pulling the focus away from your flowers because they're, fully a third of your image is that slightly out of focus but very distinctive branching in there. I think I'm going to let this one go.
You want 18 reach to be out?
Let's see. Reach. This is reach. This one's out. Yes.
Okay, 18 reach is out. 19, cathedral in the woods.
Okay, hang on. There we go. Ah, yes. This one is fascinating. I know what you did here. I know how this was done, but it's still very. Now, see, this is where your eye, I'm referring to the photographer's eye, and processing created this. And this is quite intriguing. Definitely an interesting piece, and it took the photographer's eye to say, yes, I can make this work. This isn't anybody else's art. This is your own art, even though it's more of a graphic than a natural nature shot because of the way you join the image down the center, but it is really cool. So, yeah, that one gets to stay for a while. And just excuse me for a minute while I clear out my screen so I get...
Okay, take your time. Let me know when you're ready to get back in.
Where I am. There we go. All right, that was Cathedral in the Woods, and that's staying.
20 is
This
Dock
is the Dock
Street
Theater.
exactly.
Yes, Star Filters. God, they make me crazy, but it's okay. It's okay. It's legit. It wasn't in your rules, but yeah, it's very star filtery. Nice color capture. Um, Good focus, very symmetrical. Um, it's a nice architectural shot. I don't know that it's adding any drama to what was already there, but for now it can stay in.
Okay. 21. Bug's eye view.
Ah, yes, the bugs. The bugs. Um, it's an interesting one. Seems to be a little touch on the grainy side to me. Looking at some of these, I'm seeing probably more pixels than I wanted to see, but it's an interesting viewpoint. It's an interesting shot. I don't know that it's going to hold up in this category, though. I think this one is going to go.
Okay. 21. Bug's eye view is out.
Let me mark that on my... Trying to keep up on my... doing two things at once here. All right. There we go.
22.
Ready for the fresh fish?
Fresh fish snack.
The fresh fish snack, and I see the fish. It's down there. It's a really good fish, and I love that the eagle eye and face and tail and claws are pretty much there. It's a nice shot. The only thing that's really bugging me is that so much of it is the out of focus wing. And I know that you can't control this. You're shooting a bird going by, and you're in this. But if you look at this just from here, 3/4 of that image is out of focus. And yes, the eagle is perfect. Don't get me wrong here. That's very good. But just the fact that there's so much that's in a real blur, I think we need to let that one go.
Okay. 22. Fresh fish snack out. 23. Sunset from the ruins.
Okay, let me get that pulled up here. And a lovely horizontal sea or lake or whatever. Yes. Interesting lighting on this. I mean, you can actually catch we've got silhouette, but then you can still catch detail in the foreground. It would almost strike someone as sepia toned, except I don't think it is. I think it's just picking up the light from the ambient sky. That's a nice shot. Kind of basic, but still a very pleasing arrangement. I think it can stay in for now.
Okay.
Don't know where it's going to go, but it can stay for now.
24 is folded soda can strips.
Intriguing. Once again, the work of manipulating your images and using it. It's well lit. It's interestingly put together. It's beautifully focused. I hope somebody was wearing gloves when they folded those, or else they would have been totally cut to shreds. It's an interesting shot. It can stay.
Okay.
Good black and white image. Nice light, nice dark.
25 is Kilgore Falls.
Kilgore Falls. Okay, hang on. Let's see. That and that. Okay, there's things. All right, Kilgore Falls. You've got a waterfall, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a nice kind of low exposure. So we get the water looks roughly and just soft and foamy because it's time lapsed. But it's a nice photo. What's kind of getting me is that the upper edge of that photo. Hang on, I'm going to put a piece of paper up here. You're all welcome to do this at home. I'm putting a piece of paper over the top of the photo down to say that great big rock. And I'm thinking that top quarter of that does not really help that photo. I would have cropped it down lower. And I can see why you kept it in to keep your aspects, because you want to get the rock on the left and the side, because that's cool, and of course you want the guy at the bottom. But I would have opened it up a bit more, maybe gone with a landscape view of this rather than portrait, because that upper end with the trees and basically dirt isn't really helping the image. But if you crop it like just below that big flat rock in the middle, it's a totally different image, and it's a whole lot more attractive. So it's a good capture. It's a good idea, but once again, I would have cropped it differently and maybe gone with that as a landscape. and you may have had a much better photo. So I think that one's going to be out for now.
25, Kilgore Falls is out. 26, No.
Once again, a lovely capture of a person in black and white, which is not always easy to do. You've got good zones in this. You've got good, there's a story behind it. Not that I'm always, I believe that you've got to accomplish a lot of things before you start worrying about the story behind your photo. But you can tell that there's a story behind here. And it's a nice photo. Nicely focused. Good depth of field for what we're shooting. Yeah, that's nice. I can stay in.
27, Gateway to the Tetons.
Okay, hang on. I got to move my little screen down. Okay, Gateway to the Tetons. Ta-da! All right, there we go. The mountains. And this is an interesting photo simply because everybody shoots the Tetons from down behind that stupid log barn and the fence. I've seen, I don't even want to tell you how many of those I've seen over the years. This is a lovely representation of the Tetons. And this. Now, I don't know that the putting the gate right in front of the mountain is really helping your shot. What I would have done is gone to, from where the photographer is standing, step maybe 10 steps to the right and have that framing, have the angles mimicking, but not so much the gate blocking the mountain face. I think that would have given you a much, much better photo here. 10 points, 10 out of 10 for seeing something from a new viewpoint. But I think there's a way you could have done it even better. And that would be to move to the right, and then you'd have the line of the gate mimicking the line of the mountain face, but it'd been off to the left and the mountain more to the right, and you wouldn't be obscuring the front of the mountain. So I think we're going to drop that one out, but you get so many points for looking at the Tetons in a new way.
27, Gateway to the Tetons is out. 28, Sierra.
Okay, hang on. Changing my piece of paper. There we go. Sierra, there she is. Intriguing shot. She's got a story to tell, but she won't tell it because she's not telling anybody anything. Nicely focused. You can't see her eyes, but, I can see the hairs on her arms, so I think she's legit. Nicely exposed, not overexposed. The hat adds mystery. Century, but, it's once again, it's a posed portrait. It's what they are. I think this one will stay in for now.
29, One-Eyed Abe.
There's Abe. And now here's an interesting intersection where you go between somebody else's art. Obviously, this is somebody else's statue, but the photographer is using the light that they have, in which case is morning sunrise light, is what this is coming up with because I know the direction down there. They're using that light as a way to make this art become something else. So the argument can be made that, that's somebody else's art, but look what the photographer did with that by paying attention to the light and what they could control. So this is an interesting shot. Very interesting. A little bit centery for me, but, kind of dead smack centered. I think, if you kind of moved a little way, you might have gotten something different, but I can see what you're working at. This one's going to stay in. This one's going to stay in because you've used your light to make this photo. Even though it's, the statue is somebody's art, you've used your light to see it in a new way. So, this one can stay in for now.
30 is Clearwater Harbor.
Clearwater Harbor. Now, this one bothers me a bit because I'm old school, so I refer to it as grain, but there's a lot of grain in this thing, or pixels, as the modern day equivalent would be. It just looks like it came up to be, in the old days, what we say when we're judging is that, dang, who was using their cell phone camera and not one of the recent ones either. It's what it looks like. We're picking up a lot of pixels, a lot of blobs of color. The camera's having trouble discerning what it's shooting. I like the mood of the shot. I like what you're looking for, but I think the technical problem of the camera is kind of getting in the way of this here. Unless somebody was doing something really cool and trying to make it look like something else, which is like, that's cool, but you're confusing your judge so much that they're like, yeah, that looks like a grainy photo. So I would say this moves out. I like the very reminiscent of some 19th century landscapes, but I don't think that's going to hold up for this one. So that one's out.
30, Clearwater Harbor is out. 31, Detmold Center.
Detmold Center, and I have no idea where that is. Here's some of my back stuff. Light on the face of the building, light on the water, lovely little willow tree coming into leaf. A very nice scenic shot. Make a great jigsaw puzzle, as we often say. It's very nice, a very competent landscape shot here. Of the category would be landscape with building, but it's nice. I don't know that it's going to hold up against some of the other things in this class, but let's let it stay in for now.
Okay.
I'm not quite ready to let go of it.
32, In the Dead of the Night.
This is an intriguing shot. I love the star capture and still getting the light on the tombstones. This is an intriguing shot. Seems to have good focus, even though it's a dead of night shot. And I love how the lichens, come out and, announce their presence on top of the stones. This is some nice stuff. This is going to stay in for now.
33, Sunset on the River.
Once again, another thing that would make, you could sell this to a jigsaw puzzle company and they would love you for life. Nice reflections picking up. Trying to pick up all the different pieces in here. Trying to view the light. I'm looking. It's an interesting. I'm not really getting the light. I understand it's late night light, but if we've got white clouds, we're still a bit dark on this one side. But it's very pretty. It's a very pretty photo, and usually if I teach judging school, I tell people to not say pretty or I will break their fingers because it's got to be something other than pretty. But this is a pretty shot. Compositionally, it's nice. I think it can stay in for now.
34, Lily Study.
Okay. Let's see. I'm just going to clear up my background here for a minute, just so I don't have too much debris in the way. Great lighting. I'm very impressed by this lighting. Good depth of field. Focus is beautiful. Good studio work. Kind of not incredibly happy about the lilies bleeding off the side of the frame, but all in all, this is nice work. And I do like the way the lighting works on this. The single source lighting works. Yeah, that one's staying in.
Okay. 35, Blue Jay Looking.
Oh, that's once again another nice bird. Well lit. Beautiful, beautiful focus on that. Great focus on the plumage. For right now, he's got to hang out.
36, Blue, Blue, Blue.
Again, a great blue heron. Actually, the most stunning part of this is the ripples in the water and the reflection on those. That's what's really, drawing the eye, almost as much as the bird. You've got the heron. He's a good-looking heron. Compositionally, it's nice. You've got the reflection of the trees in the right that are producing, picking up on that third of it. it's a nice photo. It's a really nice photo, and I think it's well focused. But I love the way the ripples are working for you. The ripples are working for you beautifully there. That one can stay.
37. Hummingbird moth.
37, hummingbird moth. There's the hummingbird moth. Yeah, this was a great capture. Whoever got it, this was a really nice capture. Once again, you're working. Now, I would personally have loved to see this with a little bit more depth of field. I'd love to see a little bit more detail. But I know you're shooting a moving bug. This is not an easy thing, and you've got his cute little chin hairs and everything. He's adorable. So, yeah, that's nice. And he's offset by the bloom, the inflorescence on the right side. So, yeah, I would say that, definitely that one's a keeper for now.
38. St. John's Tower.
Ah, the St. John's Tower, yes. When I first saw this, I'm there thinking, well, dang, that's cool. And for some reason, I knew it was St. John's because it's been a while since I've been to Annapolis, but for some reason, the cornices worked out that way. Once again, an interesting way of putting together your shot that is, somebody else's architecture, but you've made it something entirely different here, and it's quite intriguing. Makes for a very intriguing photograph. This one's going to stay for a while.
Number 39 is On Watch.
Hang on 1 second. I'm taking a sip of tea. Thank you. Now, you're hitting me in a soft spot here. My husband is a Civil War reenactor, and this is something that I actually shoot quite frequently is our various events, although not normally in black and white, and this is well done in black and white. I like the individual in front kind of mimicked by the two in the back. The backlighting is very nice. The exposure's good. You've got your white, you've got your dark, you've got all your little zones sitting there. This is a very nice photo. I'm going to, do my best to not let my Civil War fondness influence me on this, but this is a very good photo. This will stay through because it's just nicely shot, nicely exposed, and nicely lit. So this one gets to stay.
Number 40 is Remembering Friends.
Interesting view, getting the reflection on the other side. It's a very interesting shot using the reflection, picking up from the other side. I'm trying to what is bothering me about this? I'm not getting I'm getting reflection, but not a lot of light. It's very not much contrast, at least from my book, and it's it's evoking a mood. Don't get me wrong; it is incredibly good at evoking a mood. You could probably sell this to a veterans magazine very easily. Probably toward Memorial Day or Veterans Day. This would be a sale to them for a magazine. But and I think maybe it might be more immediate if the three individuals in the center were a bit closer. But they seem so distant, and maybe the war is what's in front, and the reality is distant because that's also real. But I would say that this one is out, but it's still a very nice photo.
40, Remembering Friends is out. 41, Girl on Fire.
Okay, we have a girl, and she has fiery hair, and we have added flames to her hair. Well, that's intriguing. I don't know if it's chivalrous or not, but it's intriguing. It's an interesting concept. I'm kind of stuck on interesting concepts here. I mean, there's nothing technically wrong with the photography here. I mean, she is in focus. You can see every little eyelash. And she's tossing her head. You can see her hair tossing. But the flames are really kind of distracting from the portraiture for me. So it's an interesting concept, but I think I'll let that one go at this time.
41, girl on fire is out. 42, female mallard.
Ah, yes, the mama mallard in her element, which is water. Nicely done. Well lit. She's looking into her light. You've got a little bit of, she's getting ready to take off because, she's got, or she's shying away other ducks because she has got those feathers moving. Nicely done, nicely lit. I think I'll let it sit around for the next round. I think it can stay. Compositionally, it's not bad.
Okay.
So let that one stay for the next round.
43, galaxies on chopsticks.
Ah, an actual still life. We have always have great debates about the what is it really a still life and what is not. Most people do not know what a still life is, but I think this one will pass for it. It's an interesting shot. It's nicely focused. I got a little reflection of the photographer there. That's so cute. Those are the roughest chopsticks I've ever seen, but we may be working at a great level of magnification here, I hope, because that looks like rough stuff. This is nice. This is a nice little shot, an interesting shot. I think your depth of field is appropriate on this, and this can hang around.
44, blue dasher.
This is quite the photo. This blue dasher dragonfly is very well shot. I'm just looking it over. Yeah, appears to be nice and clean. I'm checking for signs of pixelation on the small lines, which is a lot of times a sign of over sharpening. But it looks nice and got good composition and a great exposure. This one can stay for now.
45, lily at dawn.
Ah, there's Lily. Hi, Lily. Lily is very nice, a very calming exposure. Kind of dead, flaming centered, though. But I do love the reflection. That reflection is sweet, up from the bottom. A lot of times you don't get that. They're right on the water. It looks like they've dropped the water level because there's gunk on the bottom petals, but then it's now above the water. Interesting exposure, kind of dark, but once again, you've got the focus on the lily, and I'm picking up pretty good focus in there. Yeah, that one can stay for now.
Okay. And the last one for this one is 46, yes, you.
I'm up close and personal with a bird. Interesting shot. I'm not sure how you got the bird to stay this calm and quiet with someone this close. Eyes are in focus. Eyes are beautifully in focus because of touch out of focus because of the depth we're working with here. I'm thinking that the out of focus beak is kind of putting me off a little bit because it is a very centered presentation. The first thing you're going to see is that beak, and it's coming in as something that's not in focus. It's a nice shot, but I think I will let this one go at this time.
Okay, 46.
Because we have so many.
46, yes, you is out. Okay, you're going to need to go through it one more time and be really, really mean. We have
okay.
We have 28.
How many do we have?
28 remaining, and we need to get down to 9. Now, like I said, you don't need to go gung-ho and rush through them. When we get to the end, we can either put them all on the screen or we can go through again. It's no big deal.
I'm going to run through them again myself real quick, and I'll tell you where I am, and then we'll keep working with. Now I can start. If I'm that up to that many, it's like, oh, maybe I should get rid of some of my iffier, the ones I wasn't sure about. Let's see. Let me get my two lists side by side here. All right.
And I'll see how we look.
Hummingbird coming in hot
with the thumbnails.
Yeah. All right, coming in hot. Great blue nest I like. Got my eye on you. Okay, I'm dropping 17 at this time.
17 is Moonrise over Sandy Point Light, correct?
Yes.
That one's out.
I'm dropping 20.
20, Dock Street Theater. That one's out.
Mm-hmm. I'm dropping 23.
23, Sunset from the Ruins. That one's out.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to take out 29.
29, One-Eyed Abe. That one's out.
Mm-hmm. And 31.
31 is Detmold Center. That one's out.
Mm-hmm. 33.
Sunset on the River. That one's out.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm just looking in the... What's that one? My thumbnails are very small. Okay, that one's... All right. What am I down to now, John?
You have 22 photos.
Oh, I better get cranking on this. Okay, I'm going to take out. All right. 45 is gone.
45 is Lily at Dawn. That one's out.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to drop 34.
34, Lily Study. That one's out.
Yep. As you guys can hear me, as I'm thinking more and more, it's like I might get slower and slower as I come through here. And oh, shoot. I'm taking out number 6.
Number 6, let's see, where's number 6? Coming in Hot. That one's out.
Mm-hmm. Very century. Okay, let's see. I'm juggling through my list and looking. 42 is out.
42, female mallard is out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm moving back a little bit here. Taking out 14.
14, got my eye on you. That's out.
Mm-hmm. What's my number at this point?
You have 17.
Oh, I still need to keep cutting. Oh, it's such a good class. That's the problem. Um, um, I'm going to take out 28. This is getting tough.
28
Yep.
is Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
That one's out. Seven to go.
Okay. Digging through. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, that's so good. I'm running into. All right, I'm taking out 12.
Number 12, Great Blue Nest Building. That's out.
Taking out 24.
24, Folded Soda Can Strips. That's out.
Mm-hmm.
5 more.
Oh man, 5
Or
more.
or we can start. I've got the thumbnails up large enough on the screen. We can actually start going if you'd like to work backwards from here.
No, I'm not quite ready to go there, so
Okay.
I want to get down to close to my. Okay, I need to get to 9, and I'm taking out 43.
43, Galaxies on Chopsticks is out.
All right, let me pick up one. Taking out 38.
38, St. John's Tower is out.
Mm-hmm. Taking out 37. I'm taking out stuff that I really like. I hate this, but I wish you had multiple classes and I could break everything up and like, oh, here's the birds and here's the insects and here's the landscapes, and I'd be much happier. But
37, Hummingbird Moth is out.
so I've got 1, 2.
Should have 11.
All right, I'm going to go back through and look through what's still on my list. I'm having to pull out stuff that I really wish I didn't have to pull out. So it's just a tribute to all of you that it's such good work. Look at that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm just sorry. I'm just kind of sitting here going, beating myself up because I don't want to get rid of some of these. But
It's tough for sure.
Taking out 26. I like it, but I just don't have room for it, and I would have liked it to have been, once again, a little bit more room around the image.
26, no is out.
Yeah, so. Whoa, have I got it down to 11?
We're down to 10.
Down to 10?
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo, wait a second, I'm counting 11, so.
Would you like me to read the numbers to you?
Yes, please read the numbers out of who I've got left.
What's left is 4, 7,
Okay.
15, 16.
Is 7 still in, right?
Yes.
7 and 15.
4, 7, 15, 16, 19,
Yep.
32, 35, 36, 39, and 44.
Bingo. Okay, so those are my 10. Okay, I have 10, so one of those has to go away.
Or we can work backwards if you'd like.
Now, let me look. I like, what I'm going to do. Let's see. Oh, man. I think the one that is going to go out is, I'm taking out 36.
36, blue is now
With
out.
great regret, I'm taking 36 out. So
now we need, let's see, let me get my notes out here. We need 5 honorable mentions and first through fourth.
Okay, now let me start over again and do my placings. Everything that's sitting up here right now is, okay, so I have, which one did I take out? That's the one I took out. Okay. I have here. Okay. 15.
Would you like me to read the numbers that we still have in?
No, I'm going. I've got my list here. I'm just trying to pick them out of my things so I can highlight them as I go. So I'm trying to. Okay, now the rest are at the bottom of the screen, and that's 32. Okay, 32 is going to be an HM.
Hold on 1 second here. Okay, 32, honorable mention.
Yes. Okay, so that one's down. That's an honorable mention. All right, I'm going to. Four is going to be an honorable mention.
Number 4, Colorful Danger, to an honorable mention.
No, 4.
Excuse me.
4.
4. Sorry, let me put everything back. Sometimes when we have the
wait.
numbers.
I'm on the wrong page. Yeah, 4 is, hang on.
4 is female ruby-throated hummingbird.
That's it.
Okay, that's why we have the numbers, just to make sure that I don't mess up either. So we've now
I
fixed
won't let you
that.
mess up, John. I'll come get you. I promise.
I appreciate it.
Um, '19 is an honorable mention.
19, Cathedral in the Woods, an honorable mention.
Yep. I've got one more honorable mention to go. I'm just thinking. I'm sorry. I get quiet when I think. Scary when a judge thinks. 35 is an HM. Okay, now I have 4 places, correct?
35, Blue Jay Looking is now an honorable mention. So just to recap, 4, 19, 32, and 35 are honorable mentions. You now
Yes.
have, actually, I'm sorry, you have one more honorable mention, then we can go to 1st through 4th.
Oh, I get a 5th honorable mention.
You get a 5th
okay.
honorable mention. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, I'm just wondering what I have here. Those 2. I'm going to go with 15 for an honorable mention.
Number 15, Too Much Playing for honorable mention.
And, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a good exposure. I'm just not that thrilled. It could have been a little bit more done with the light in that, but it's a beautiful photo.
Okay, you have 1st through 4th.
Okay. 4 is 16.
16, Colorful Danger is 4th place.
Mm-hmm. 3 is 39.
3rd place is going to be 39, On Watch.
Yep. Let me look at these last 2. Sure. Two is number 7.
Number 7 is 2nd place, Pileated Woodpecker
Mm-hmm.
Gatorland.
Yes, which means that number 44 is number 1.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and read tonight's winners.
Whew.
Honorable mention to Mary Lou Burleson for Too Much Playing. Very cute puppy shot. And I agree with you absolutely. It's beautiful, beautifully done lighting and black and white.
Yes.
Again, everybody who plays tonight, please we'll either start a new topic in the Facebook group, but please post your images and tell us a little bit more about these images, like we usually would do when we're meeting in person. An honorable mention to Blue Jay Looking, Louis Sapienza. Honorable mention to In the Dead of the Night, and that's Chuck Gallegos. Honorable mention to Cathedral in the Woods, Louis Sapienza. And honorable mention to Female Ruby-Throated Hummingbird, and that's Kathy Hockle. 4th place
Congratulations, everyone.
4th place to Christine Milliker for Colorful Danger.
Oh.
We don't tell you who these people are. 3rd place, Michelle Barkdahl with On Watch. 2nd place, Christine Milliker again for Pileated Woodpecker Gatorland. And 1st place, Blue Dasher and that is Ron Pfeiffer. Congratulations, everyone. Please, please, please post your images to the Facebook group and give us a little bit more information about everything that you can tell us about these amazing images. Nancy, you've done an amazing job. Everyone has been commenting on in the Facebook chat that you've been a very, very good judge. We've got quite a few people still in the chat, and we've got some time. If you do, would you like to open up any questions for people?
Sure. Actually, let me do one thing, which is to walk over to the stove and make sure that my corned beef is not boiling down to nothing.
Uh-oh.
So I'm just throwing some more water on the corned beef, and we're all good. I can talk forever.
While you're doing that,
we're
going to go ahead, and I know we had some questions previously. I don't know if any of my chat watchers that are here in the house have I don't know if they've started writing down questions or not. But if you have questions for Nancy, please post them in the chat, and we'll do as best as we can to get through as many as we can before we have to let Nancy go.
Once again, I would like to encourage everyone to enter your local county fairs, your local shows, and definitely the Maryland State Fair, and get your images out there. The fairs have been hurting for images.
Have they?
Anne Arundel, particularly since you're Anne Arundel County Fair, generally the quality at Anne Arundel has been incredibly good over the years. We were a bit light on entries this past year, but overall they have been tremendous. There have been images that won basically firsts and seconds at State Fair that didn't even place at Anne Arundel because there was better stuff.
Wow.
So, keep going with Anne Arundel County, and they're very good. They've got specific limitations on how you mount your photos because of the way they're displayed at the fair, but you can pretty much mount it on anything. I mean, I do not recommend the spray-painted cardboard, but it can be accepted if need be. So, just get your photos out. Get your photos out there.
Okay. Nancy, we have one question I see. Bob is asking, what is lantana? But I think Mary Lou has answered it. Lantana is the pink flower. I guess that's what we're talking about there.
Yes. Underneath the in image number 4, which is the ruby-throated hummingbird.
Let me bring that one up.
Yeah, female ruby-throated hummingbird. That is a lantana plant.
Excellent.
I know because I'm also a plant judge, but I also grow them.
Excellent. We also have a question from Mike. He likes birds in flight versus stationary. What are your thoughts on that?
They're very. They could both be very, very good photos. I've seen some incredible stationary bird photos. Birds in flight, it's tremendous capture. Once again, you'll get a good bird in flight photo. But sometimes you're just getting a bird in flight as opposed to getting a great photo. And it's a good capture that you got one, it's in focus and all, but you're just basically, I've gotten this great capture in this instant. But there can be other ways of looking at it in terms of, how you've built the image, what is your composition, everything else. But there's nothing wrong with birds in flight. I have awarded many prizes to them over the years. And one of my own personal favorite photos is I have a photo of a seagull done in black and white off a beach in Maine that was trying to catch popcorn that we were throwing to it. And literally it is it's all in motion except for the tip of one feather is perfectly in focus because it is wheeled around. And that's one of my favorite personal photos. So it just kind of comes down to what you're up against in what grouping. Photography where it's a competition is always about what you're competing with. I will, true confession here. There was a period of time when the superintendent of the Maryland State Fair changed over for photography. I was not judging there, so I thought, well, heck, time for me to throw some images in. So I threw in 7 images. I did not get a single ribbon. And I liked most of the stuff I'd entered, but, I didn't win a single ribbon on those,
But
and
you
it
said it.
all depends.
But you
Go
said it
ahead.
pretty good as well in the beginning of the contest. I mean, you can look at the images, and like you said, you had such a hard time throwing out these images, and at some point it gets down to what you like, what excites you as far as
Hmm.
those, and it's really hard to pull yourself out of that mindset of, oh, I really like hummingbirds, or I really like dogs, things like that. So absolutely.
Well, that's one thing that once again, my friend Jane Bancroft is usually my team judge that I work with. We remind ourselves, okay, you like cats. Just because it's got a cat, you don't get to do anything with it. It's you have we remind each other of our personal preferences and our personal prejudices about what we like and don't like in a photo. We try to, you go back to basics first. You always start your judging from, simple things like focus. Focus is always a lovely thing. Now, we understand that there are times that you work with your focus because you're trying to accomplish something, but when you're looking at 80 photos spread across 3 tables for State Fair, usually the things that are completely out of focus go away first. Now, you look at everything. You always give it the respect of looking at the photo, because somebody did that work, and hopefully they really meant that they were doing their best. So you always give them the respect of looking at their photo and trying to understand what they were doing. But then you have to move on to other categories. And sometimes when it comes down to it, it's just dependent on what the judges, and that's usually why we have teams of judges for larger situations, because there are different ways of looking at things.
Okay.
And everybody has a different way of looking at things. Jane looks at things differently than I look at things, but we have known each other long enough and judged together enough that we trust each other's judgment. It may not have been my choice to do this, but I know she had reasons for doing it, so it's okay with me. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Yes. We have a couple comments in here, but I'd like to get your thoughts on them. Kathy posted that Birds of Flight are her first choice, and she likes Wings Up. Do you have any thoughts on Wings Up versus Wings Down versus doing the Macarena or anything like that?
I think then you're starting to put yourself into a category. You're always going to look for Wings Up, and that's going to be your first, whether or not there's a really great heron sitting in the bay, with water on its feet. I think that you can really like these. You can like a certain style of shot, and that's your way of preferring that you shoot. But when it comes to looking at overall photography, you have to be willing to put those prejudices aside, those pre-thought notions of yours, and say, yeah, what does it work for this photo? Mm-hmm. What does it do for this? I mean, yes, birds in flight are fantastic. I have seen many of them, and like I said, my favorite personal photo is a bird in flight. But I have seen so much incredible photography over the, oh, good Lord, 19 years I've been doing this, and we do multiple fairs per year, that, it's constantly learning. You just keep yourself open to learning is what I would say to you. I mean, yes, Wings Up is great, Wings Down is great. You can get a great photo anyway, mm-hmm. of a wheeling bird with one up, one down. But the thing is, you've got to learn from each exposure you make, and each time you look at another photograph, what can you take out of that to make your own photography better? Gotcha. Is what I would tell you.
Now, is it pretty much the same idea when you're? This is a comment from Mike. He likes rare birds over common. Do you get more excited over a rare bird versus a common bird?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, to me, it's about the exposure. It's about the light. It's about for tonight. I mean, it's like the pileated woodpecker had tremendous light to him. The female ruby-throated was perfectly lit, but it didn't have that aspect of light and shadow, mm-hmm. that chiaroscuro moment that, adds the drama to the photograph.
Gotcha. Perfect. We have a question from Mary Lou. She'd like to find out what's your idea on what makes a still life.
Okay. A still life, by definition, is a group of arranged items that are then photographed. And let's just say we see still life classes. We get pictures of tractors because it's not moving, so it's still, right? Whereas technically, the classic example is fruit and on a the thing they'd make you draw in art class when you're in 7th grade. They'd put fruit in a bowl and a glass on the table, and you had to draw it. That's a still life. You've arranged these things in a way that then you want to photograph them. And I will tell you that we celebrate every time we actually get an actual still life at a fair because we see so many things that aren't still lives.
Gotcha. I just got a note of questions. Paul asked that question too about the still life. Paul asks, how does judging differ versus open versus a specific category? How does that differ from what we've done to, let's say, a bird category?
Oh, well, I mean, there were tremendous bird photographs in here, but there were other photographs too. Now, if I could have separated all the birds together and judged them as a class, that would have been, that would have been the 4 placings, and then I could have done architecture in 4 placings and landscapes in 4 placings, and people, you could break it down in so many ways. And at the fairs, they do give you that option. You get, sunrises, let's see, I'm trying to think what Anne Arundel has. Sunrises, sunsets, and celestial phenomena, since people were starting to shoot eclipses and things like that. So we included celestial phenomena. You get birds, you get reptiles, you get reptiles and amphibians, excuse me. You can have pets, you can have farm animals, you can have other animals, and I'm not sure which fairs those are because there are so many of them, but people candid, people posed, multiple people, they can break it down so more people can get more prizes. I love that. So you're not trying to, this is very, I'm looking at the cathedral picture. Which one was that? I'm looking at number 19, which is very much an abstract, digitally manipulated, construction by the photographer, and comparing it to, the ruby-throated hummingbird. They're just very different types of photography. And try and wrap all that into one category and to place that out among all these different things. It's so much easier when you're judging like items.
Gotcha. Excellent. If we don't have any more questions, we will wrap this up. I have the chat window up. If anyone has any more questions for our fantastic Judge Nancy, please put them in the chat, and we'll give people about 20 seconds to do that.
And John, if there are people come up with serious questions in the future, feel free to forward those to me via email, and I'll happily answer them.
Okay. Can people find you online, Nancy? Do you have any work online or?
Actually, if you look under the Carroll County Times, and I'm not sure what's behind the paywall these days, and you look for Nancy McKenzie, McKenzie, some of my old work shows up there. Right now, I'm not currently associated with a newspaper. We've hauled ourselves to Gettysburg, and I have not. I figure I should finish moving before I jump in with another newspaper. So, Carroll County Times, I did 15 years. There should be something that pops up somewhere. But generally, as much as I love shooting and much as I love doing my own work, since I'm a judge, I have to step back from that. And, my stuff has to sit on its own, in its own little category, because I don't mingle that with what I'm doing. I'd love to be able to enter photos somewhere, but usually all the places I'm eligible to enter, I'm judging.
Understandable.
It's like, nope, don't do that.
Well, Nancy, I think that's it. I don't have any more questions to give you, unfortunately. But I really wanted to thank everyone who joined us tonight. Lewis, Bob, all the officers for the Arundel Camera Club for their hard work in making sure we were able to move to this new format. Hopefully we're not stuck to this new format for long, but we're going to keep with this as long as we can to make sure that everyone is safe. Be sure to tune in next week when David Joyner will be offering a presentation on the design principles in photography. Nancy, thank you so much for being with us and giving your time and experience tonight.
You're welcome. I thank all of the photographers. You all do incredibly good work. And what the judging tonight was just a snapshot in time of where everything came up against what it was pitted against tonight. But your work is good. I mean, I've tried to give you comments to help you along, and things that I would change and things that I would do differently in certain images, just so you can keep stepping up your game. But your work is good. Please keep shooting.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Everyone who plays tonight, please make sure to share your images on Facebook with your comments. Check us out next week, and good night.